guys, so in today's video we're going to talk about our experience of having this little guy here introduce the world to Josiah Jack.
Yeah, so I'll let you eat, and then I will we'll come to a quick another exam, okay, to make sure that it's not progressing really fastly. Okay. And then do the morphine. Just listen to baby for another 10 to 20 minutes, and then you can go home and sleep. Right? Yep.
Here we go. You alright, babe?
I can't get up now. Are you gonna YouTube the bird? Is he allowed right now? What? To YouTube the bird?
Well, yeah. I won't put all the details in there.
Oh man, this is awesome. I don't know why people always want to go natural.
Well, there's spiritual value in pain, right?
Yeah.
But Sora's really impressed right now with the opium poppy. Fentanyl is from the opium plant.
Did you not put a bulb on this?
Oh, I have it in my hand.
Oh, wait, okay. No, you. I just was gonna hand it to you.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Good job. Hello. We're going home. Yay.
We got a baby.
I have a baby. For the next 18 years. I'm just kidding.
You can show him this on his graduation day.
Yeah.
You're like, see what we had to go through?
Oh, too funny.
So the lower you go, the more primitive the life gets.
No, you passed the flood area.
Yeah, see, that's what the creationists say, but it really...
And it perfectly shows it.
But the problem with that is that we don't see all of the same... See, if it was due to a flood, because the
It has been a great journey so far. So he is 8 days old, and the last 7 days we haven't slept a lot.
Yeah, he's only a week old now. Yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys, it's definitely a moving and spiritual experience, to bring a child into the world. It gets me thinking a lot about consciousness and the nature of mind. One of the things Sora and I have noticed here, since we brought him home, is just the amount that Josiah dreams. It really is remarkable. I mean, he spends most of his time sleeping, as he is right now. But you watch, and you can see he's dreaming, and I think to myself, well, what is he dreaming about,
Yeah, it's cool. Just watch him smile and cry most of the time.
Yeah, he seems to wake up in the middle of a dream, and he'll smile for a little bit and cry for a little bit. But, it definitely makes me think of the Bible, and this is something I talked about a lot when Sora was pregnant, how when the baby is in the womb, right, it's in a sense, still in Eden. There's no duality there. There's a unitative experience, right, where the child has everything they want and need supplied for. They don't have to worry about going out and looking for food or finding anything, right? Everything they want and need is right there in the womb. Mm-hmm. It's a fulfilling thing, and I think that being a mom is definitely a spiritual experience. It is a kind of death and a resurrection, because You know, you go into labor and it's frightening. You don't, especially with your first baby, you don't know what's happening, you know.
Yeah, just being there when I was going through labor, I was just a little bit scared, you know, when I was going through pain and in my head, because when you're scared, they'll give you emergency C-section, and I didn't want that to happen to me. So when I was going through the pain, my body was just hurting, and I was just thinking in my head, I can't push, I will not push. But you know, and I remember you saying, hey, you can curse, you can do this, and in my head, I was just thinking, cursing is not going to help, and all I can do is just pray and pray and pray, and yeah, pushing this big head out of me. Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Yeah. It's a kind of you know, when you go into it, it's a lot of pain, but as soon as the baby comes, then you say, oh,
it was
worth
just
it.
as soon as he just popped out, all the pain was just gone, you know, everything was just
Yeah, I remember that when he first came out, you crying out, "Give me my baby!" That really touched me. Yeah, it makes me think of you know, Jesus' words in the Gospels where he says, you know, unless you become like little children, you can never enter the kingdom of God. And you know, when you look at a little child, right, their experience of life is so simple. It's you know, I remember when I was a kid having the experience, you know, where I remember I was crying one day and my mom and grandmother were rushing around trying to solve whatever it was that was bothering me. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't know why they're in such a hurry. I just cry sometimes, right? That's just what I do, you know. There was a sense, I remember when I was a kid, where, you know, there wasn't this strong bifurcated tendency in my psyche yet of saying, you know, oh, I like this and don't like that. You know, definitely you see that in kids, but I don't think they're really conscious of it, you know, that, you know, suffering for them is just one other experience. You know, it's not, there's I think a lack of this sense of clinging and this sense of pushing away. You know, they don't have that mental ability yet to really put that kind of exertion in. And in a lot of ways, I think that is the root of suffering. At least that's what the Buddha suggested, right? That really pain and pleasure are in many respects a similar feeling, but it's our psyche's attempt to try and push one away and pull one in that really gives birth to the ego and brings on suffering. I mean, one of the first things kids learn to say is mine, right? That's the emergence of the ego, you know, that's that knowledge of good and evil that comes in. So it's going to be interesting, you know. I plan, as he gets older here, I'm going to ask him at some point, you know, if he remembers anything from before he got here with us. See if he has any memories of his life before being born.
Yeah. A lot of guys just sleep and cry and poop and eat. That's pretty much it for now. And on it goes.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, having a child, I was just talking about that last night, it's a unique experience. Like I can't really, it's difficult to relate it to anything else. And I think that was one of the things I was really looking forward to about having a child, you know, is that I'd be able to experience something entirely new. And it is new. Yeah, so hopefully this little guy doesn't interrupt my upload schedule, but if I do run into any difficulty, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But yeah, I hope that hopefully from here I'll be able to share with you guys some of the experiences that I have with Josiah. You know, it's children have a real spiritual receptiveness, you know. I got the sense the other day, it was funny, I was holding him, you know, and he was looking all over the place, and I thought to myself, you know, is he seeing things that maybe we can't see? Because it's, you know, a little baby like that, you know, their mind hasn't fully formed yet, you know, and so there's consciousness there that's aware of everything that's going on, but they don't have any filters, they don't have any neurology through which to process all of that, you know. So he looks over out at the world and he doesn't see anything that he recognizes. It's just you know, it's just collections of colors and lights and things like this, you know. He doesn't look at anything and say, oh, that's a TV or that's a picture, you know. It's a raw experience, and so that leaves a child's psyche much more open to whatever is being presented, right? And I think that's part of the reason why kids tend to be a lot more receptive to the spiritual. So perhaps I'll have a thing or two to learn from Josiah.
Yep, we all do.